Hello. So I'm going to take a moment, maybe a couple of minutes here, to show you how to put together a title page so that you can put it together yourself. There's a couple little tricks and things that people get confused about occasionally, so I wanted to just show you here. Step one, let's put together the title. Now, usually when you put together a title, a good way to do it is hit enter 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to the middle and then type in your title in bold. So in this case, we're going to use the title from a study that I did in the past. Is 45 the new 90? Question mark. Age desirability depends on the age you have. And so you'll notice a couple of things here. Let me just zoom in for you. We're using bold. We're putting in capitals at the beginning of every word. And another thing that you'll want to notice is that this is not in Times New Roman, so we're going to change that to Times New Roman. Make sure it's size 12 font. And I'm just going to hit Control A to select everything and make it double space. Alright, so here we have a paper. It's roughly on the 2/3 up the page, that title there. And now after that, we're going to want to hit enter twice. Put the names of the people doing the research. So my name is Gabriel D. Science, and I also did research with. I did this research with a good friend of mine, Sam Petty. Make sure I put an and in there, and turn off the bold. After that, you're want to hit an enter and put in whatever affiliation you have. So in this case, this is for Ozarks Technical Community College. Awesome possum. Now the next thing we want to take care of is the header. The header goes up here, the head of the paper, and it includes two things. First, we want to give the page number. So you're going to go to page number, top of page, plain number 3. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is to add in a title here in the page, in the header, but we're not going to put it next to the one. So we're going to hit tab. Well, let's just put something like the is 45 the new 90. Now, this is not something that you want to have in bold, but it is something you want to have in all caps. So let me go ahead and write that out again one more time. Is 45 the new 90? Question mark. And you don't want to put the whole title. You ideally should just put a short part of the title. You don't want this to fill the entire top of the page. So it's pretty common for people to have titles that have a short pithy title that might excite people, asking like, what, how is 45 the new 90? Like, what does that have to do, what? And then a little bit of a longer title that actually explains more what's going on. And in order to get this title here to the left, we're going to hit tab a couple of times. Oops, what's it doing there? Is it trying to be centered? Oh, it's right justified. So we're going to less justify that. Hit escape or backspace there. Then go over here to the right and delete a couple of times. There we go. Now we've got them in the proper sections. Now we've taken care of our title page. This is basically all you need for your title page. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to very briefly show you that if you go to a new page, the header is still there. Now I've prepared ahead of time another paper that's got this information here, and you'll notice that the reason for this is that we're going to be looking at these abstract things, or the subheaders. So remember from this from the notes from the previous module, that we want to follow a consistent format for our titles. And so here the first level of the headers is bolded and centered and title case heading, so the first word in each situation, or the first letter in each word, is capitalized. We go down. The next one, the next has abstract is the same level as the title of the paper, so it gets that same level 1 formatting. The next section is the introduction. You actually don't put down introduction, you just put the name of the paper again. And so again, it's a level 1 format. But then here we have a subheader. So within the section of the introduction, we have a subheader called Research into Age. And so you're noting that by a bolded title case left-handed thing. And then even into a subsection of Research into Age, we have a subsection called Youth. So that one's italicized and bolded, flush left. And then within the youth section, we have two subsections, babies and toddlers. So that's a level 4 format. So that one gets indented and bolded, and it gets a period. So you can see I've done that here, done that here. Then we're going to go back up a level because that's all we needed to talk about in the youth section. So then we have adulthood. And then here, between adulthood and research into aging, we've actually skipped 2 levels. So flush left skipped sorry, italicized, we didn't skip 2 levels, but let's say here, alright, that's it for the present studies. We could have a subsection in the present studies called why we did them this way. Gotta make sure we capitalize every first word. And so here we have this level 3 subheader. So if that's the end of the introduction, the next thing that I would do is go right back up to the level 1 and say, okay, well, the next thing after the introduction is going to be the methods. So I would type in methods. I would take that and make it centered, and then I can start right back up at that level 1 formatting. So you don't have to like bounce slowly back up. You always have to bounce downwards, if that makes sense. So if you ever are going to make another subsection within a section, you have to have the previous level of formatting. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to include this example paper in the activity, as well as in some of the extra things that we have for the class, so you can check it out. I just put chicken where the words are supposed to be, just so it's just something to have there, but you shouldn't worry about that. Hopefully this makes sense to you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.